Alright guys, so here's the review of the San Martin Unimatic Homage. So you may have seen this feature in another video I did a while back where I was checking out some San Martin straps. If you haven't seen that, I'll leave a link to it either up above or down in the description, so you can check that one out. But in that video I said I'd get around to doing the full review, so obviously it's been a bit of a while in between, sorry about that. It's been the usual problem, too many watches, not enough time. I know, first world problems. But anyway, so I was sent the watch for free, full disclosure. But you know the score. It's not going to change the way I do my reviews, going to keep it 100% honest all the time, no matter what. So before we jump right into this, I've actually got a discount code as well. So if you use the discount code HONEST10, you get $10 off on $150 spend, and that applies to anything on the store. So if you're not interested in this particular watch, you can use it for something else. They've also said as well, if you message them when you do place your order, they'll actually throw in a free strap as well. So again, nice little bonus. But enough waffling, let's get down to it, see if you're going to be interested in this particular watch. So here it is. I won't talk about the packaging, it's the usual San Martin one that you've seen plenty of times before. So we've actually got a few different dial colours with this one. So obviously this is the black dial version, but they also have a khaki one and a grey one. So a few different options, and they're all sterile dial as well. So some people might not like that. For me personally, I think it works for this dial, this particular design. But let me know, what do you think? Also, are you keen on California dials? Because I know some people don't like them. Again, I personally quite like them. So let's talk about the dimensions on this before we go any further. So we've got a diameter of 38mm, lug width of 20, and when it comes to the thickness, it's a little on the chunky side, coming in at 13.9. And then the all-important lug to lug is coming in at 47.6. So some interesting dimensions there, as well as an interesting case shape too. So this is going to be one of those you either love or hate, I think. For me, I actually quite like it. It's something a little bit different. But again, as I say, some people I'll understand may not like it at all, because it is quite a thick case, as well as being an unusual shape. So seeing as we're talking about that, I'll probably bring up now that this isn't the original strap. So this is a separate two-piece strap you can actually get from San Martin, which is nicely done. It's got the signed buckle there, which has got a mixture of brushed and polished finishing. And then nice hardware, nicely stitched, and it is quick release too. But the original strap that came with it is a very similar one, but it's a NATO. Again, same buckle, same hardware, but again, it's a NATO, as I say. So that adds quite a bit of bulk underneath to an already thick watch, so I switched that out straight away. So if you're interested in this strap, I'll leave a link to that down in the description as well, because it does make a big difference when it comes to wearing it, which I'll show you later. And it's easy to swap out the straps, because you've got quick release on this particular strap, and then you've also got the drilled lugs. Another thing you probably see is that distortion from that crystal. So we've got a really nice dome crystal on this. Just get a zoom in and show you that. So as I say, really nice distortion. Get a closer look at the dial. So it's a fully printed dial, nothing applied. And again, we've got that California dial with that train track around the outside. And then we've got that little red tip on the second hand, as well as having the lollipop. And then when it comes to the hands, they're brushed and filled with plenty of loom. We'll check out the loom shot in a bit. And then we've got that signed San Martin crown with the older style S, which they've now changed on the newer models. Let me know, which branding do you prefer when it comes to San Martin? Are you keen on the newer one, or do you prefer some of the older versions they had? When it comes to the case finishing, it's fully brushed, apart from that chamfered detail around the bottom of the bezel. so it shouldn't mark up or anything. So it should wear quite well. No polished surfaces to scratch up. So now let's check out whether that crystal is sapphire. Using the trusty down selector 2. And yep, we have got sapphire crystal. So that's good. I'm not going to worry about it getting scratched up at all. So when it comes to the movements on these, we've got the NH35. So obviously there's no deep window, so we do actually have a ghost deep position. So we unscrew that crown. If we pop it out once, as I say, ghost deep position. I don't mind that too much, but I know some people aren't keen on that. Pop it out again, second hand stop to go hacking, and then obviously we can just change the time. Pop it back in, second hand re-engages. Then you've got hand winding. All works well as you'd expect. No issues at all. So now, let's check out what the loom's like. So you can see we've got quite a bit there already, but let's charge it up, give it a fair chance. And there we go. So, as you come to expect with San Martin, really impressive loom, even without having applied indices. So, obviously, when you compare it to some other San Martin watches that do have applied indices, it doesn't last as long as them. But it still lasts a good amount of time, considering it's just printed. And it's also kind of got that photina kind of look to it, but it is actually C3. And again, with San Martin, no patchiness at all. Consistent across the hands and the indices, so no issues there. The hands will last a little bit longer because obviously they can get more loom on than the indices, but overall it all lasts a good amount of time, so no issues there, nothing to worry about. So all that's left to do now is show you what it's like on wrist, and then we'll wrap this up. So this is what it looks like on my 7-inch wrist, and as I said, with that unusual case shape, it does wear a little bit odd, and it is a fairly chunky watch. So that's why I definitely recommend wearing it on a 2-piece strap and not the NATO it comes with, because that just adds even more bulk and it just looks a little bit funny in my opinion. Some people might think this still looks a bit funny, which I kind of understand, but it's one of those, as I said earlier, you're either going to love or hate. I actually quite like it. It's a little bit quirky, a little bit different, but I'll understand why people don't. But as you come to expect with San Martin, the finishing is fantastic, no issues at all. Just the usual San Martin specs. Great finishing, no QC issues, really good loom. So if you're interested in this kind of watch, I'd definitely recommend it. But let me know, are you interested? Do you like the look of it, or do you think it's a little bit funny? But that's it for this one guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.